Ahoy, children. You're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. Put on your scrubs and get in the tub and let's listen to this podcast. Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as leiomyomata uteri and oh boy, so I will try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer Cameron.
Hey, Dr. London, how are the kind of like hat you're wearing is a little interesting today.
What? Okay, well,
it's very tall.
It's
I guess
new.
I mean, I can tell it's new. You did leave the tag on it because that was, I think you think that's cool because people did that.
Yeah.
Like years ago, like 15 years ago.
Yes.
Well, people can see that I got it on sale. That's what I'm trying to show. I'm a savvy shopper.
Okay. So is this an advertisement? Like, are you wanting people to come to you and say like, dude, where are the best deals? Or is it just a talking point? Because you're still in your scrubs, which I think is the maybe confusing. Yeah. I thought you kind of had to wear. Well, isn't there sort of a hat scrub thing, a scrub hat?
Yeah, whenever you're scrubbing for surgery, there's a hair thing that you can wear. But this is more for I don't want to say. I'm trying to think of the right word. So when you're strutting around the office, you're strutting around the clinic, wherever.
Peacocking.
Yes.
Okay. That's more or less the term. So. And you'll see it's got spirals on it. It's like a Dr. Seuss hat, except kind of at a tilt and all the spirals and lots of feathers. And so I just...
Well, and you also, okay. I mean, this is sort of a question I wanted to ask, because you say it's Dr. Seussy, and you say it's like Cat in the Hattie, right?
Yeah. Sorry, that's what I mean.
But you've got Who's from Horton Hears a Who sticking out the top of it.
Yeah.
Now you're just mixing up stories.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, like... So for that one, I just like to, the big lesson I took from that is listen to me. And that's really what the hat's about.
Yeah.
Listen to me, see me, I want attention.
Or else.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you walk into a patient's room and they'll say, where's the doctor? And
you're usually hiding at this point.
Yes.
Yeah. And so this way, it kind of takes away that issue because I'll be hiding, and that's just a habit because I'm always sort of creeping around. I don't want to.
Well, you're a natural introvert, Dr. London. You're a natural introvert.
I know. Well, not to mention the telemarketers. They're always calling.
Oh.
And I feel like if I can hide enough.
It's a way for you to get away from the world, but if someone's really looking for you, they can kind of look around the room and find a little Who sticking out of the top of a hat. Yeah. As you're maybe crouched behind like a love seat or a lazy boy or something like that. Yeah.
Or a hospital bed. Yeah.
I don't know how your room's decorated. However you want to decorate your room and your office is fine by me.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Not everyone's so considerate, especially the administration. But anyway, so that's our producer Cameron. Also with us is Digital in the House.
Peacocking. Digital in the House.
So when you're strutting around the office, you're strutting around the clinic, wherever.
Peacocking. Peacocking. Peacocking.
And that's just a habit, because I'm always sort of creeping around. And later, Cameron tells me we can expect a special guest.
That's right, Dr. London.
All right, well, so, for listeners, please look forward to that. But before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. So I found this note stamped
Do we have
into the...
to?
Yeah. Okay, well, you know what? That sounds like feedback to me. Let's address your concerns. What do you dislike about getting listener feedback?
No, I was just wondering if we had to. If it was some
Okay.
sort of either moral or legal obligation that we have to address the listeners. Hey listeners, can you play on your phone for a second? Take your headphones off, listeners. I don't like
Yeah, that's
the
good. That's a good
listeners.
thing to say to them.
Yeah, I don't like the listeners.
I know, you keep telling me this. And it's...
Most of them are too tall, kind of like your hat, and I don't like that. I don't like being around people who intimidate me by their height.
So you think the hat's no good?
No, the hat's fine. Because you're not tall, it's the hat that's tall. I hate your hat.
Okay, so me with a hat is the way that the hat works. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
It complements my style of being too short.
Yes. But it's so I had a listener the other day, and I was at a bar, and I was hanging out with just tons and tons and tons of people, just tons of people hanging around. Everyone's you've been at bars, right? When everyone's butt to gut because it's so packed in there.
A while ago, yeah.
And so we're all just talking and laughing and screaming these songs. Well, no, this was Thursday. And so we were doing all those things, and this listener comes up and says, "Hey Cam, here's some feedback for you. Maybe do something about, maybe talk about Pixar more. Because remember that one time we talked about Pixar?
Yeah, I thought that was fine.
And I was like, I don't want to do that. And now I've already done it. Now I've already brought it into the podcast.
Yeah, so...
Do you see how frustrating this can be?
It doesn't sound that frustrating to me. It's...
Oh, leave me alone.
Okay. So I guess to answer your question, we don't legally have to, but I do feel a certain obligation, perhaps even a moral one, to address concerns.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Then I will let you do that, and I'm just gonna sit back.
Okay. That's fine, because I can answer these questions as easily. Sure. So I found this note stamped into the ground by an enormous footprint.
Ugh.
I mean, okay, I think it was a footprint. It might have been more like a crater. It had a lot of smoldering ash and a glowing rock nearby in the center.
Ugh.
So anyway, I found this note on the ground in there. The note reads, quote, "What store is OnlyFans? Do they have humidifiers?" End quote. So, first of all, thank you so much to this listener for reaching out. And Cameron, you want to say thank you?
Blech.
Do you want to say thank you as well?
Okay.
All right, so to answer your question, I think it's pretty obvious that a store called OnlyFans would exclusively sell fans. To sell anything else would be false advertisement. So,
It could also be fan memorabilia.
Okay, no, that is a good
Like
point.
maybe like a Cal Ripken Jr. baseball card, or like a Cal Ripken Jr. jersey, or like a Cal Ripken Jr. like signed baseball from, one of his many games that he was in.
So you're saying something...
Dedicated to Cal Ripken Jr., yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a Cal Ripken Jr. fan site is what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
The baseball Hall of Fame baseball player who was famous for like playing the most games in a row or something like that.
Okay.
That was like his claim to fame.
Yeah, and that's why OnlyFans is so greatly associated with Cal Ripken Jr. Okay, no,
Well, and you're hearing more and more about it these days. People are really excited about it. I think that's really cool.
yeah, I guess it is. I didn't, I'm not as connected with everything as I wish I was. But anyway, to that listener, thank you for listening. And Cameron, do you want to say thank you? Okay. Now for today's medical topic, diverticulitis. So previously, we discussed how diverticulosis is an outpouching in the wall of the colon, and the colon is, of course, another term for the large intestine. So in diverticulosis, the inner layer of the colon bulges through a focal area of weakness in the colon wall, usually in an area of blood vessel penetration. One complication of this outpouching is known as diverticulitis, and that's what we're talking about today. And that occurs when...
Okay. And I think, well, hold on.
Okay.
I think maybe to like, I've been thinking about it lately, and I don't know, a lot of this podcast relies on assuming you know what you're reading.
Okay, so like whenever
But we never see like the other side. So maybe we can hear from the other side a little bit too. And that's me.
Okay, that's... I didn't know there was an alternative side to this.
Yeah, so my thing is if you were to step in something like real goopy and you need to get it off, you can use like rubbing alcohol and pour that on there, and it sort of just like scrapes off really easily. And I think if more people were knowledgeable about that, we would see less infected feet in our hospitals, which is sort of an epidemic lately that has not been discussed by media.
When you say epidemic, it sounds like very focal in origin. Like maybe it's just you. Because
yeah, but it's happening. I mean, it's happening daily. It's all the time. Everywhere around me,
Yeah.
I'm seeing these people with infected feet.
well, and you keep saying people, but it is
Every day when I wake up.
it's just, well, you have a lot of mirrors set up, and it's almost as if you want to see it and you want to feel a congregation of people relating to you.
I don't mind seeing it. I'm not like offended by the infected feet. I just think we should do something about it as a society instead of just throwing it under the rug.
Yeah, and so
Anyway, now it's your
yeah,
turn.
well, I was gonna say, so I don't really see this as an alternative idea. This is just separate. But one complication,
Two sides of the same issue. I mean,
one complication of that outpouching of diverticulosis is known as diverticulitis, which occurs when feces become impacted in the diverticulum, leading to erosion and microperforation. So clinically, acute diverticulitis is suspected in patients with lower abdominal pain, typically in the left lower quadrant, abdominal tenderness on physical exam, and increased white blood cell count on lab testing. To exclude alternative...
and I want to say, I think what you're talking about, when your foot's infected like that, it's actually a lower white cell count.
Okay, I don't think that
Because you've like poured a bunch of it out. I mean, a lot of it's like kind of bleeding and oozing out, and so a lot of that white stuff is just kind of coming out easily.
Yeah, so I feel like just...
So your body has actually less of it, and actually it's in your right abdomen. Now go ahead.
I'm sorry, you...
Just point, counterpoint, back and forth.
Okay.
It's just a natural
Yeah,
flow.
no,
It's a
okay,
debate.
okay, sorry.
It's. I mean, yeah.
I guess that's on me. So to exclude alternative conditions like colon cancer or irritable bowel syndrome, the diagnosis is usually confirmed by abdominal pelvic CT scan, which also distinguishes complicated from uncomplicated disease. In the absence of complications like frank perforation, obstruction, fistula, abscess, acute uncomplicated diverticulitis can be treated non-operatively in most patients. Acute complicated...
I
Oh.
disagree.
Okay.
I think some of these people who have these feet infections desperately need an operation. Just something to stop like the fiery pain at night. And I think that we as a society are throwing this under the rug. And I don't think, I think what you're implying, that people who have feet infections should go to jail. They're not animals. They just need help.
Where did I imply that? The jail time.
When you were talking about the left abdomen stuff, it just sort of seemed like a personal attack towards people who struggle with a lot of stuff.
No, there are reasons why you should be in prison, sure. But I don't think that your clinical illness is one of those reasons. Does that make sense?
And this is why we do this, people, because people think oh, debates never help anyone. People just double down on their opinion. But you can see here, Dr. London came into this conversation saying that people who have infected feet need to go to jail. And I've been able to change his mind with the power of my words. And this is free exchange of thought, Dr. London. This is awesome. Your turn. Go ahead.
Okay. So acute complicated diverticulitis requires treatment of both colonic inflammation and the specific complication, which typically requires hospitalization and or surgery. Regardless of whether it's complicated or uncomplicated, diverticulitis itself is typically also treated with a course of antibiotics. And so, Cameron, you have right abdominal pain for your...
And I think I'm going to disagree. I think it's actually treated with maybe bandages, and again, just like a surgery or something, maybe something to plug the gap, to plug the hole would be great.
Yeah, and I don't think we ruled that out.
I think it's a more practical approach.
Which foot did you say is
feet infection?
Yeah, sorry, feet. It is, but I should.
That's why if
I look down,
if you notice, I didn't really walk in here. I hopped.
Yeah, you have a box
with my feet together.
A tissue box.
Yes, it's just sort of a. Oh, here I can just show you.
Oh!
My feet have sort of melded together. Yeah.
And you.
So, but it smells good. I feel like a lot of these times it usually smells awful, but I mean, give it a whiff, just a little. It smells pretty good.
No,
It at least smells like normal feet. It doesn't smell like anything extra.
It smells like something extra. Just.
That might just be my foot.
Okay. Well, do you mind if we move on from there? Have you had your alternative opinion expressed enough?
Let me think. What do I think about? I could talk about NASCAR.
No, I feel like we could move on.
I could talk about Garth Brooks. I could talk about maybe the state of
Okay,
Oregon.
your feet juice is getting all over now, and I feel like we...
Oh, let me put it back in my shoebox. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay, well...
All right, I think I'm done.
Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and move on from there then.
Oh, wait. NASCAR. You got these guys just driving in a circle over and over again? I mean, right? You watch that shit?
And that's your alternative opinion on the treatment of diverticulitis.
No, I'm kind of just spitballing here.
Yeah, okay. Ooh.
I get to do with my time what I want to do with my time.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll move on.
I'm done.
All right, Cameron, you said that we have a guest today, is that right?
That's right, Dr. London. I am very, very excited for our guest today.
Wow, great. Well, hello, my name is drlondonsmith.com, and this is our producer, Cameron.
Hi.
What was your name?
My name is Keel Over. Captain Keel Over.
Okay. So
Not to be confused with my younger brother, Neil.
Okay.
Can I ask where the captain comes from? I mean, are you a service member or are you a sailor? I don't really know where the word captain, how does that in your title?
I have a boat.
Oh.
A beautiful boat.
Oh.
Wow.
Is that's okay. I mean, I can get behind that. Okay. I mean, Dr. London.
I mean, it's new to me too. I mean, I just got it. But I'm a captain now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the captain.
I'm the captain.
I'm the captain. Yeah. So, because the only other thought I had was maybe it was a Captain Morgan situation. Maybe you'd just imbibe. So this is a boating situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. You said you prefer to be called Captain
Captain Over. Captain Keel Over.
Captain
yeah.
Over. Okay.
Well, Captain Over,
right.
what brings you here today?
Oh, man, I just kind of stir crazy. I mean, been trying to learn how to sail, and it's not been going well.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
And you thought,
you wanted to hear advice from us, or did you want us to teach you how to sail, or
I mean, I've been able to sail places, but been at sea, stuck for a long time. I'm really happy to see you two. Anyone really?
okay. So no, we do get this a lot where guests will come in from outward adventures, and for whatever reason, I don't know if Cameron has advertisements on buoys or attached to seagulls or something, but
no. I just
for whatever
I tie
reason.
notes. Well, they're flyers. I tie flyers to fish, and then I release them into the ocean.
Okay.
That way,
So it's like tagging.
well,
fish,
it's sort of yeah. I mean, it's
you
sort
sound
of.
so
I
smart,
think,
Cameron.
I think it's even more like putting a message in a bottle, but way cheaper. Way cheaper. Just a tiny little string is way cheaper than buying a bunch of empty bottles.
Wow.
And so this way you put it out into the ocean, and then whoever finds it, it's kind of like fate. It's like that this person was destined to be your listener. And I think that's kind of special. This is where we get most of our listeners these days.
Wow, that's just so intelligent. Who's the doctor here? Cameron?
This has
sorry,
actually
no,
been up
it's-
for
it is
debate
me.
for a while. I was knighted in a way and to be a doctor
Yes.
in the past on this show, and I have performed surgery. Well, I have allegedly performed surgery on like a sleeping person, but for the purposes of this show, Dr. London's the doctor. I'll back off on that.
What's up with that hat you're wearing?
Oh, it is getting harder to balance, I'll admit. Every time I feel like it's not working in clinic, I do kind of add a few inches to
Yeah.
it. And so now it's
Add a couple more who.
It is
I feel like
teetering.
part of the reason I wanted to become a
Yeah.
captain was not only to own a boat, but I just wanted a hat too. So I totally get you're into hats. That's great.
And I do love your hat, by the way, Captain Over. But I want to say it's too big for your head. It's almost like a captain version of like a 12-gallon hat,
Yeah,
like one of those extremely large cowboy hats.
I'm not compensating.
I wasn't saying I don't know fashion that well. I don't know trends, especially aquatic fashion. That is so foreign to me. So I mean, I was not making any judgments at all. I was just noting it. Is really big.
Yeah.
It keeps like bumping me a little bit. It's fine.
I mean, I am. When I walked into the hat store when I bought the boat, the hat store and the boat store were really connected, so they really got me for a 1-2 punch.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm so tall, they just got me the biggest hat they had. And yeah, I don't fit very well in my boat. It's a pretty small boat, but
Yeah.
I've got a big hat now. Could probably sail the hat better than the boat.
Honestly, get like a little paddle while you're sitting in a big hat, and you just kind of row yourself away. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like its own life raft.
How long were you out on the sea?
and how long have you had this boat?
It's been so long and so short. I'd say it's been 6 months, and I went out and the seagulls started pecking at my eyes. I have barnacles on my everywhere, and I have been gone too long. So
Oh, so 6 months is the answer to both of those questions.
Yes.
How long have you been gone, and when did you get it? So you got lost, just right
Yeah,
away, day
yeah,
one.
Yeah, they heave ho, and I was gone, and I didn't, couldn't get back.
If I could ask, how did you acquire a boat? I guess that's because it sounds like you just went for it the moment you had a boat. What led up to having a
Yeah,
boat?
so I'd been stuck in quarantine for too long.
Yes.
Saw this wonderful movie called Medicine Man. Sean Connery, casual, sexist, normal role for him. Isn't that required in medical school, seeing Medicine Man? Anyway, long story short,
Uh,
he goes to the jungle and he finds ants that cure cancer. And so I wanted to go. I wanted to go there and do that and fix it, but I didn't get very far.
when you say there,
Yeah, where are you
mean-
going?
I thought the winds would take me, and that I thought the hat kind of directed you along, to where kind of like where the fish message would go to where it needed to be. That the winds would
Yeah,
kind
like
of
in the
do the
current.
same thing.
Do you know that word? I don't know how many
Current?
like sailing words
Like,
you know. Yeah.
like that I know like the current events. Is that what you mean? Like a present
Honestly,
events?
Yeah. It's the most recent event of the direction the water's going.
The direction the water is going.
okay.
Okay.
But like the most
All
recent
right.
event of it. So it is kind of related.
Are you a
It's-
sailor? That you just seem to know so much.
Oh, I'm just a hobbyist.
Oh.
I'm just a hobbyist.
But so did
My boat's
I can't help
sunk,
but-
so it's just
wait. Well, I can't help but wonder. So Cameron tagged all these fish by tying flyers to them.
Mm-hmm.
Did that impact your sailing journey? Did that bring you back to shore? How did this play out?
I set sail. I'm sure I got one of your messages on one of your fish.
Wait, you say it very generally, like kind of like saying, I'm sure I saw whatever seagull I saw, whichever port or something. Like, did you actually see a note tied to a fish? Because that seems rare to me.
I mean, there were thousands. I must have gotten caught in the school of fish that you let go.
What do you keep saying? I must have found a flyer. I must have done this. Do you remember much of your time out at sea?
I remember a lot. I remember some of my teeth falling out. I remember
Oh, wow.
eating some fish eyes in particular.
And for our listeners, we haven't really been pointing it out because it's kind of, we just try to be polite, but your face is completely red, sunburned. You are visibly missing teeth, and it looks like,
Yep.
I don't know.
It looks like you haven't showered since you got back, which I've got to ask.
Your gums
why
are
come to this
bleeding.
studio, like without taking a shower, brushing your teeth, or changing your clothes? It looks like.
I mean, I like the smell. I mean, I got used to it, and
yeah.
isn't the aroma like the man of the sea aroma? Isn't that like an Old Spice scent? Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's very. I guess it is very seductive.
I feel like it is clashing with Cameron's feet smell rather.
It's definitely clashing with my foot smell, but I would say maybe the seafaring smell is also mixed with things like urine, excrement, vomit, and just a lot of fish smell. I would say it's really fishier than it is like sea.
Yeah, it is fishy. Do you have barnacles too on your feet? Because these things, I can't get these off.
I can't look under my feet, so I'm not exactly sure because it's it's kind of like a welded together block. But I don't know. There's something under there. I think it moves
It
around
has
a bit.
solidified, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If it was barnacles,
It's just a block of
I don't think it's
calcium.
barnacles anymore. I think it's evolved.
It's part of the foot.
I think it's more than the foot.
Yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it. If there were barnacles, they are the foot now.
And that's good. It means you can
So to call them barnacles would be misleading.
you can walk on deck and not worry about stubbing your toes. You can not get any splinters.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, I can't walk. I have to hop.
Is stub toe a big concern on the ship? Because I guess in my mind, navigating the sea would be the big thing, but I don't know. I'm not really known for sailing.
Yeah, the biggest problem for me is stubbing my toes, hitting my head. That's the biggest problem.
Okay, is that because of your hat being so large, or because the boat being so small?
I mean,
I guess
the boat is tiny. I mean, it can barely fit me.
Yeah, actually, come to think, so I'm looking out the window and I do see a boat out there. Is that yours?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's mine.
Okay, so it's small enough for you to carry here, basically.
Yeah, because that's a regular parking lot. That's not like we aren't in a port.
Yeah, it rained, and so I was able to, kind of get her in,
Okay.
a little bit.
For the listeners, it does look like a proper sailing boat, but it's the exact size of like a life raft.
Wow.
So it looks like you could maybe fit like 4 people on it tops if you were shorter of a person, but because of your height, sort of, if you want to lay down or something, you need the space. Standing up though, maybe like 3 people, but sitting down, no, not going to happen.
Nope.
So, is this the first place you went after you got back from your 6 months at sea? Because that seems like a long time to go without, like, did you... It looks like, as I said, you're kind of bleeding from all these different spots. It looks like you could be having scurvy. Do you know about scurvy? Do you know what that is?
I know that my teeth hurt.
Okay, well that's...
Yeah, and that is scurvy, so that would be an issue. So you need to see a dentist about your scurvy issue for sure.
Well,
but I still want to I want to get back to your time out there. You had so much time alone. I mean, did you not learn anything from that? I feel like, that would be very difficult, but maybe sort of enlightening in a way, like getting away from everyone like that. And were there any lessons you brought back from the sea with you?
That you end where you begin. I mean, I set out from the ocean not too far from here, and the ocean brought me back.
Okay.
That's my lesson. My sailor's wisdom.
Yeah, I feel like I could have figured that out without going on the same journey. Did you
take the journey? You have to take the journey.
So the journey is the real...
That is so important.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you answered this before, maybe I missed it, but was there a reason why you acquired the boat? I'm trying to, because it sounds like you don't have even a passing interest in the hobby of sailing. It sounded
like he was trying to get to wherever.
Oh, that's right.
Wherever the medicine man is.
It's in the jungle. It's in a jungle in Indonesia. Okay. You can't take a plane. You can't take a car. Got to take a boat. I'm a captain. Wanted to go.
So you got in the boat. It was just going to take you to the medicine man jungle just by default. And then let's say your adventure worked. You get on land, and then what? What was your intention? What were you trying to do specifically? What was your role in this?
Trying to find, in this movie, they find these ants that can cure cancer.
Right, and you said you wanted to do something similar.
I wanted to bring the ants back.
Oh, was that the one downfall of that movie? Was that they were so selfish they just kept the cancer ants in the
also
jungle?
No spoilers.
Also no spoilers, so you can't spoil the movie, especially if there's a twist ending, which I would assume would be that maybe the ant gives someone cancer on accident or something. But I'm not going to speculate because I got to see it. But okay, so you were just going to get to the jungle and just start searching for ants?
Yes, absolutely. I was going to start digging, climbing.
So you weren't going to try to meet someone? There wasn't a person, a contact you were trying to get to?
No, it was just me. It was me, myself, and I. Captain Keel Over.
Yeah, so...
Wow, and there's...
So what I'm also thinking is, in the movie, I don't want to get into spoiler territory, so maybe just stop me if I'm going too far. But if it was at all a historical movie, then do you think they might have just brought the ants back within the movie, and then you could look up what happened on the internet?
So naive. The ants were in that specific habitat, and you couldn't just bring them out of their natural habitat. That's just wrong.
Yeah, that is wrong.
What were you gonna do then?
I was going to bring them out of their natural habitat.
Okay, so you.
But I was gonna do it, so it was fine.
Yeah, so it was.
They were gonna do it.
The movie was too moral.
Yeah, it was too sappy. I wanted to do it the real way, the right way.
I guess that makes sense. You saw in the movie, they didn't bring them back, and you're like, oh, well, I'll go get them if they've been waiting there for so long.
That's a cure for cancer. Yeah.
Yeah, I get
it's right
that.
there. I mean, the movie wasn't able to no spoilers, but don't have a cure for cancer, so had to go out and get these ants.
So is this
Man.
okay? And I guess this leads me to another question. Has this ever happened before where you're watching a movie and you get an idea from the movie and then make a purchase, a significant purchase, which that is a nice boat outside. Like it's small, but it's nice.
Oh yeah, it's small. It's like the kids' version of like a yacht is essentially
Yeah, like
what
I
it
can
is.
see from here, like fully stocked bar. It's got everything in there. And
If a yacht could only hold one very tall person, that's what we're looking at.
So
And everything else is very small too. So like London's talking about a fully stocked bar. They're very, very tiny. Not like travel size. Looks like the normal size of drinks, but shrunk down to scale.
So if that, have you ever done this before, or is what made this time the time that pushed you to make the purchase? That's what I'm wondering here.
I've done this before. I tried to buy a submarine. I ended up buying a huge Jeep after seeing Jurassic Park.
Okay.
I've tried to buy airplanes.
Wait. I want to go back to the Jurassic Park thing. Like, you bought a Jeep to what? To go to Jurassic Park?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Didn't they?
You saw, I mean, the chaos and everything, and the deaths, and I mean, what were you gonna do? What was your plan with that?
I wanted to save some of the flora and fauna there. I wanted to go there and bring it back.
So your focus was on the plants, just like the doctors when they first got there. It was all about the plant life. That was
Yeah, so this is environmentally motivated, but the ants, you were like, screw them.
Yeah, it was just something I had to do.
and okay.
No, well, that is not a proper answer. You just said there's something you have to do.
I had to go get these
What do you
ants.
mean? You see these two movies and you came to two opposite conclusions.
I had to go get the ants.
One was I have to protect the habitat, and then the other one is I can't believe they're trying to protect this habitat.
I mean, I was trying to steal a dinosaur too.
And
I mean,
I would also, in your defense, one of them is the cure for cancer. The other one, maybe not as pressing to our own humanity and the salvation.
Yeah, I would say that's very true. Like,
thank you, Dr. London. God,
the ant thing is at least positively motivated. It seems, I would say, like it has good motivations behind it. The Jurassic Park, you just wanted to protect the fauna.
Well, and one other thing about the Jurassic Park, they don't get to the park by Jeep. Or like they have to either fly there by helicopter usually or go by boat.
That's true. The Jeeps are on the island.
amazing, great idea. I should go buy a helicopter. Thank you so much, Dr. London. That's a great conclusion.
I'm sorry. Was that insult? I know they're expensive. I'm just.
No,
Okay,
I
that
want a
wasn't
helicopter
sarcastic.
now.
Dr. London, I think you've convinced
No,
him
not at all.
to get a helicopter.
Yeah,
So okay,
that's a good idea.
you said you got an airplane as well. What movie had you watched that led you to that conclusion?
Airplane, the movie.
Oh, so you saw the movie Airplane and everyone's like doing hijinks and everything. And I mean, what was the goal there?
The goal there was to try the fish, try and eat the fish, eat the chicken, eat all the food.
Oh, eat the two options
Yeah.
because one would be
And
whatever poisoned.
see what the poison was. Try and figure out
So-
what the poison was.
Oh, so you didn't buy like a private plane or like a jet. You bought like a commercial plane, including, it sounds like, the
Yes.
food host and
Exact replica.
What are plane hostesses called?
Steward people, stewardesses.
Yep.
Stewardess. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exact replica with fish and all. It cost me a pretty penny.
How much did it cost?
Well, I bought it off of Craigslist, so it was
wow.
$14.99. Well, it was really, 100 payments, easy payments of $14.99.
Okay.
I think per month for a long time. Yeah, for a long.
100 payments per month.
Yeah.
I guess
It was they were
Now-
easy payments. Easy payments.
Yeah, but you're
do
doing
sound really
100
easy.
a month. That means you're doing at least like 3 a day. Why not consolidate that to just like
Do
once
you know
a month?
taxes? That's great. You you know how to do, you know
Oh,
finances,
taxes.
you know everything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's a good
That's
point.
true. Yeah.
Taxes
I
are
didn't
a good
even think
point.
about the taxes.
Here's a question that I have now. If you say you spent that much on an airplane, for a lot of these things I would think like, okay, maybe you planned for an investment, but over the course of our conversation I convinced you to buy a helicopter in passing. If I may ask, are you well off financially? And if so, is it inherited? What do you do for your actual work, Captain? I feel like Captain might be a new title for you.
It is. It's a
Except
fresh new captain.
except when you're on the plane, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
yeah.
you would have already been a captain there. And kind of the Jeep. I'm the captain of my car. I say that a lot.
Yeah,
I'll admit to
you're
that.
the captain of yeah.
But yeah, where's the money come from?
Where's the money
Yeah,
come
where's
from?
the cash? Let's talk money.
All right, well, big secret. I actually don't have any money,
Oh.
and I've been able to swindle all of these people into giving me their vehicles.
Nice.
Well,
So then
is
what
that
are the
nice?
100
So I am
payments you-
dead. I am dead broke.
What are the
I have
100
no money.
payments you're making a month of $14.99?
That's other people's money.
It's taxes. Okay.
And with taxes. Yeah, that's true. I'm glad that you're concerned about the taxes when you're taking other people's money. That's really considerate.
You know what? Thank you. Not everyone notices that,
Yeah.
and they know who they are.
But they notice-
And just thank you for.
They
thank you
probably
for,
notice the rest. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, not yet, but yeah, maybe.
So this, and I don't want to sound harsh here, but this does sound, criminal in nature. Well, what you're doing. Does that make sense?
Criminal.
Are you taking people's bank account information and applying it to your purchases, or is it
They
convincing
give
people?
it to me. Yeah, they give it to me.
Okay. So you're just a very persuasive person?
I guess.
Okay.
I am the most persuasive person.
Maybe
guess.
Oh, I guess I believe
maybe
you.
we could,
Wow.
I feel like there's maybe some confusion. We can explain this a little bit more. So Dr. London is asking, are you a criminal? Like the 2016 movie with Kevin Costner and Gary Oldman and Tommy Lee Jones. I have not seen that movie. I assume there has to be a criminal in that. Does that make a little more sense now?
Someone who breaks the law. That seems to be ringing a bell.
celebrity.
Ah, a celebrity. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's because I haven't seen it either, but I do recognize those names. So I think they're either the big in their field of science and medicine, or they are celebrities. Those are the only kind of two categories
And
uh,
I know.
who's to say? It's really impossible.
So-
and what's the distinction between them? Honestly, very little.
The line is so blurry.
Yeah, Tommy
Yeah.
Lee Jones.
I ran up to Ryan Reynolds the other day and I asked him if he would look at my foot because I associate celebrities so much with the medical field. Well, I didn't run up to him. I hopped very quickly to him. But if it's fast enough, it can kind of look like running. But it has not ever been that fast. I can assume.
So you practice your hobble? That seems like a really good skill to have.
I exercise. I'm not just stuck at home. I hop around. But enough about me, Captain. What's the plan next? Are you getting on the boat again?
The plan next. The open road, the open sky, open sea, I don't know. My goal was to get healthy and come here to see someone to help me with all my medical problems, but it seems like I've been talking mostly to Cameron about taxes, and I need help with
What's wrong with you?
Well, the scurvy I think is a big thing.
scurvy. Yeah,
I can see
that's
your
what you said
ribs
before,
And
because we didn't mention,
Yeah.
but you are your clothes are in tatters.
Yes.
And except for your hat. Your hat is
yeah, anyone who knows anything good about fashion besides a
Yeah.
hat, of course, that'd be great if you could point me in that
yeah.
direction.
So for one thing, I would go for some some fruits, some fruits and vegetables. And I could really just fill out your whole diet. It looks like you just haven't eaten food, which I don't know if you brought provisions for your trip, but food is...
Well, he was saying that he was grabbing fish out of the sea.
Right.
And eating them, right? Am I right?
Yep. The eyes were particularly tasty.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I like the eye. Fish eyes are just, I don't know if you ever had fish eyes, but
I think that's one of those sort of high-end delicacies that a lot of people don't realize.
You've had fish eyes, of course, Dr. London.
I don't know that the eyes of a fish are really that... They don't contain the vitamins that you're missing, I guess is what I'm saying. But you're on land. You can just go to most restaurants and find, a full meal that will cover your food groups.
So there's more food groups other than fish. You're telling me this. That's incredible.
It's been 6 months.
Yeah, it's only been 6 months. What were you eating before you went on the ship?
I don't remember much from before. I mean, it's been...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's being at sea, being on that long journey out there all by myself.
So when you were talking about with airplane, how the options being fish and chicken, right? You were just talking about like a pet chicken. You weren't even talking about food at that point.
Yeah, I didn't know you could eat chicken. Yep.
Yeah,
okay. That's right.
This all
That's
checks
right,
out.
yeah.
What else is wrong with you? I mean, Dr. London, fix this man.
Yeah, I got so many things going on.
What else we got?
It looks like it's pretty... I mean, you should visit a dentist, which isn't really, so much my thing.
What hurts the most? What hurts the most?
My neck. My neck hurts so much. I just take it out, just take it off. My neck. I just can't.
All right, Dr. London, are you going to perform a neck removal?
Please take it. Please take it. I don't want it.
Dichotomy,
just
no?
so his head is attached to his shoulders.
I could be shorter so I don't hit my head on my boat so much.
Yeah, no, that's kind of difficult to do, and that's not really within reason. And I do see you do have something stuck to the back of your neck. Is that okay? Those are leeches there, so that's another thing. I didn't know those were salt water dwelling creatures, but it looks like you do have leeches on.
I mean, yeah, Fred and Saul and Henry, my friends.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I like how you remove them and then put them back because
they are
your
me,
friends.
Yeah.
They're a part of you. Okay, so and this is just sort of thing of modern medicine is that we rarely use leeches as medical treatment, and we usually don't have them we don't keep them as friends on our bodies so much.
But you said sometimes, so that means sometimes you do use them, right? And that case must be my case.
No.
Right?
Yeah, he got you. Dr. London, you've been owned so bad.
Denied.
Yeah, so there are
gosh.
some
Shut
medical
up.
uses for...
Stop. You just got owned so bad, and you're going to give out more advice.
Leeches are
Keep
good.
the leeches.
That's what you're saying.
Look, it sounds like all you need to do, keep the leeches, eat a bunch of lemons, I don't know, change your pants.
But the
just take a
lemons are
shower.
they're gonna
get
sting
pants.
my gums because it's gonna hurt. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But do you want to be better or not? Getting medicine is work. You know? You can't just be like, oh, doctor, inject me with something. No, you've got to wake up every day early in the morning and you got to work at it.
Isn't there a surgery for this? Like, can I get this fixed some other way? I don't want
like a surgery that just
in
puts
me.
the lemon
Yeah, in
straight in
me.
your stomach without having to touch your...
You could...
I think a tracheotomy could do that, right, Dr. London?
I'm sure there is a way, but this is, I think, going to be less painful even in the short term. Probably is to just do it the normal way. But as much as I want to keep going through this and all these issues you have, and you really should acquire some pants, some trousers. I feel as if we need to do the chore.
That is true. I just real quick, I want to offer, if you need an alleged surgeon who kind of operates like out of a garage and you need a sort of a large tracheotomy so we can just start shoving lemons down your neck, like in your neck. I know a guy.
Okay,
That's all I'm
I
just gonna say
will.
that. But yeah, Dr. London, we do gotta.
I will grab this card very,
We have a chore.
Oh, go ahead.
slyly.
Yeah, so we have these chores we have to do sometimes.
The chores we're talking about, these are just tasks and things that we needed to get done, and we were lazy and haven't gotten it done. And so for a little while now, we've been spinning this chore wheel. We've put all of our chores onto this huge wheel, and we give it a spin. Whatever it lands on, we have to do it. And so, Captain Over, do you want to give the wheel a bit of a spin?
I would love to. I used to do this on the boat and just spin the wheel, and see where it lands. Love it.
Oh, that's a boating thing. Oh, that wheel. Okay, the steering wheel.
And it may be the source of some issues, but we don't even need to go.
But yeah, you can just spin this
Okay.
wheel for now.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, and it landed on. Okay, I did not want to do this one.
Oh no.
Well, because this one's more. I feel like it's mean spirited compared to some of the other ones.
But it's a mean spirit for a mean world, Dr. London. Sometimes you gotta toughen up.
Because we have the trash that we haven't taken out for months, because it just hasn't come up on the wheel. But I guess
but it's not on the chore wheel.
It's not on the chore wheel. Well, it is on the chore wheel.
We'll land on take out the trash eventually, I assume.
Yeah. Okay. So
you can do it anytime. You can do anything you want voluntarily. I'm not taking out the trash until it pops up.
No, that's the rule for the whole studio. Whenever it lands on it. Okay. So sorry for our listeners. We all had our reactions in person here, but it landed on in memoriam for the people who are still alive but are dead to me, and so that's going to apply to each of us. Captain Over, is that all right with you? We try to bring in, the guest to help us with this.
I would love to help. More hands makes less work.
All right. So
Dr. London, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. So it's in memoriam for people who are still alive but are dead to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny that we had me talking about a sort of nautical theme today, because so there's this man outside who, whenever I pass by, on the quay, he'll yell at me and he'll say, hey, bring some French fries for the birds. And I'll be like, yeah, so I don't walk by a fast food place or whatever. Like I don't have French fries with me, but every day he'll yell at me, French fries for the birds. And then he'll throw French fries for the birds. And then he'll point at me, point at the fries, and then just shrug his shoulders, but angrily. And so, it's...
I know that guy.
Yeah, so he's gotten a little bit more pushy about it. Because this started... It's been years now.
Yeah.
But so now, whenever
maybe he was hoping you would take the hint and bring some fries every once in a while, but yes, I'm guessing that never happened.
Is that what he was trying to say?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because now, because I used to bring fries around there, and then I would toss it, but then this guy kept showing up, so I was like, well, never mind. I don't know, it just seemed weird to do that with a guy, to pass out French fries with a guy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being weird. So anyway, since he started doing that, I've been avoiding French fries in that area. And anyway, so for me, it's this guy who's been just progressively more pushy, and he's thrown stuff at me a few times. Anyway, so yeah, for me, rest in peace in my mind and in my heart, this stranger on the quay who wants me to bring fries. Sorry, not sorry, I guess. I don't know.
That was your in memoriam?
Yeah, rest in peace.
Oh, I thought you were just telling us who he was to prepare for your in memoriam.
No, that was...
So you would get up on at a funeral and just like explain who this guy is?
Yeah, that's...
Not very empathetic.
Well, it's...
Yeah, I guess for him, honestly, probably at his funeral, some context would probably be needed. So that actually, that kind of checks out.
Yeah.
I can do mine now, if you want me to.
Yeah, sure. Oh,
Well,
sorry.
actually,
Captain Over?
Speaking of birds, I had a bird friend once
Oh.
when I was out at sea. I was very lonely, as you might have guessed, and there was one bird that used to follow my boat, and well, not really follow because my boat really didn't go anywhere. It was just there, so it really circled the boat.
Or just
I guess.
pass by overhead, yeah.
Yeah, I just passed by and got him to land once. Got to pet him once. But as soon as it started, maybe trying to bite his leg, he flew away, didn't come back.
And this wasn't an albatross, was it? By any chance? There's this poem I remember where that can become problematic. Anyway, or maybe it was a seagull.
I named
don't know.
him Birdie, but he might have been an albatross. I don't know.
Yeah,
I imagine he was. I don't
remember.
He was really kind
R.I.P.
and friendly, but now he's dead.
yeah, that is.
And I guess we didn't say R.I.P. to the Fry Man.
Wow, that is sad.
French fry man. Yeah.
Maybe rest in power.
Right.
Yeah.
I said rest in peace. Which that's what those initials. Yeah, that's what it represents to me sometimes. But Cameron, do you have? Oh, these are harder to get through than I thought.
I'm gonna maybe treat this, a little bit more like an actual, in memoriam, like sort of a, like if I was at a funeral and I was going to like, let's say some words or something like that. I met the Jolly Green Giant when I was 7 years old. I was refusing to eat my vegetables, and he came and he stuck his head. Well, not his whole head. It was really just his eye, because he's very, very tall. He is jolly, and he convinced me to eat my vegetables because he said otherwise he would eat me. And I continued to eat my vegetables day after day after day after day. And then I learned recently that he was lying, and he never ate a kid ever. So all those vegetables for nothing. It was fake.
It might not have been for nothing. That might have actually been healthy for you. And it might actually be...
You're standing up at the funeral and you're screaming this at me?
I guess... So this is why I didn't want to do the funeral setting, because I knew that this is how you would react. It's in memoriam, and we want to keep it a little bit casual so that tensions don't get high, because I know how you get at funerals.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, I associate just in memoriam with, like, I don't know, the Oscars showing clips of dead people. But if you wanted to do like a proper thing, maybe to get in the right mindset, maybe imagine yourself being there, saying some nice words. And so I want to say Jolly Green Giant, he's a heck of a bowler. He, rarely texts back, but that when he does, he actually means it. But unfortunately, he's a liar and a fraud. And sometimes it takes a really long time to figure that out. And so, Mr. Giant, R.I.P., rest in power. And, I don't know, I hope you rot. I don't know what happens to a large vegetable man, if he just grows into other vegetables, or mini vegetable man, I'm not sure. But I hope...
As long as he's in a compost, he's probably okay.
As long as he rots, that's the big...
Compost.
The big part of it.
Wow, it sounds like you lost a
that was really
friend
brave of
and
you.
a good
Well, and a mentor,
bowler.
Really brave
really.
of you, Cameron, to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These really are
Well,
chores.
it's,
Wow.
It's kind of with a heavy heart that now, if we could just go ahead and light the stick of dynamite under the chore wheel here to eviscerate it, because of course once we finish one chore, then we have to sort of reorganize the entire thing to fit the next week's chore and everything. So, Captain Over, if you want to go ahead and do the honors of lighting that dynamite.
I'd love to.
Okay, that's so close. That's it. Okay. Okay. Wow. I feel like we've been through a lot today.
Yeah.
And I
think
it's hard to leave that moment. It's hard to make this transition to anything else. But so Captain Over, thank you for being with us today. And I'm sorry we had to end on sort of such a sad note, but is there any way that our listeners can keep up with you after this?
You can keep up with me on Twitter, Kyle D. Anderson.
All right. Is that one of the people you're stealing money from to fund your adventures?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But you got his handle
everything.
as well?
Took the gold watch, the car, his wife, everything.
And he gave it to you.
Yeah. But you can only afford just a tiny, tiny yacht, just a very small yacht that can only hold one person? With other people's money, that's all you could afford?
It's not the size of the yacht. I mean, I can't even use it right, but I got to start small. Think big, start small, think big.
Because it sounded like you were going to go into the saying of, it doesn't matter the size, it's how you use it. But quick backtrack.
Or it's the motion of the ocean.
Right. All right, well, so anyway, thank you to Captain Keel Over for being with us here today. Thank you to our producer, Cameron. Thank you to Digital in the House.
But did you take the journey? You have to take the journey.
But did you take the journey? You have to take the journey.
Let you end where you begin. I mean, I set out from the ocean not too far from here, and the ocean brought me back. That's my lesson. My sailor's wisdom. But did you take the journey? You have to take the journey. It's not the size of the yacht. I mean, I can't even use it right, but I gotta start small. Think big, start small, think big.
My name is drlondonsmith.com, and this has been the Jock Podcast.
See ya.
Fine. You suppose that it was a good idea to hike up here. With this view of the vast plains stretching out to brush against the horizon, one can sit back and recognize the beauty of the planet, as well as how easily one could plummet to their death with one single wrong step along this cliff face. When those neighbors' kids told you that they knew science better than you, you knew you had to prove them wrong. Those children are so dumb, and you are about to have proof. You take out a penny. Careful now. This needs to be perfectly timed, and you only have $40 worth of pennies with you. You prepare a mouthful of spit, stretching your neck out as far as you dare over the great drop below. Penny versus spit. Which will fall faster? You let go and you spit, but your spit was too late. And you know you cannot face those neighbor kids without being sure. So you take out another penny. This could be a long night. Speaking of appropriate utilization of time, don't forget to leave a 5-star review of the Jock Podcast in which you share about the times when you have taken advantage of nature's ability to prove hypotheses via reproducible experiments. And consider joining our Patreon, where we have new episodes that ditch the medical lessons to give you a hefty dose of improvised comedy. And while you're at it, go ahead and share the Jock Podcast with a friend or foe. You can send them a link to your favorite episode, or just send them our handy website, jockdocpodcast.com, which is also a great place to find a link to the Patreon by scrolling to the bottom. And don't forget to take a peek at our posts on social media. We are at Jock Podcast. Thanks for listening.